Ethan Sachs and Paolo Villanelli take Valance and Dengar deep into the War of the Bounty Hunters as more hunters come for the duo and their information on where Boba Fett and Han Solo are. Ethan Sachs continues building up the War of the Bounty Hunters event series as well as his own stories as Valance and Han's most recent meeting is revealed, as is the reason why Valance needs to find and help Solo out. I really enjoyed how seamlessly Sachs brought in things from past arcs like Zuckuss and 4LOM still following Valance for Cadlia, and last arc's run-in with Dengar being the catalyst for sending him after Fett. It's a real sign that Sachs and the other writers of this event are coordinating really well with one another. I've quite enjoyed seeing Valance's relationship with Han Solo be revealed over the course of this book, and how they started out as rivals only to become uneasy allies who respect one another. It's quite interesting, and I'm intrigued to see more of that over the course of this entire series. Series artist Paolo Villanelli continues his action-packed artwork here and gets to do equal parts ground blaster battles with spaceship dogfights. I thoroughly enjoyed how fast-paced Paolo makes the paneling throughout this issue, doing a great job of selling a high-speed space battle and an intense gunfight at the same time. Bounty Hunters issue 12 was another great build-up to the War of the Bounty Hunters, having primed all the major players for the event while also continuing on Valance's really interesting backstory and connections to recent story arcs. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Bounty Hunters issue 12 finds Valance and Dengar speeding through space towards Nar Shaddaa, something Dengar isn't too pleased with since going after Boba Fett without a plan is not a good idea. Valance says he has a plan: find Fett, get Solo, and kill Fett. Dengar knows that Valance isn't much of a deep thinker, but the cyborg knows if he doesn't like it, he can leave through the airlock. Valance wonders why Dengar is even joining him, but the man says he has his reasons as a proximity alarm goes off as the Mist Hunter descends on them, firing its guns. Zuckuss contacts the hunters, demanding that he turn over Cadlia and her location and they will show him some mercy, although 4LOM doesn't promise that. Valance maneuvers around their ship as they are fired on, and Dengar demands to know what Valance has gotten them into, wanting to surrender. Valance says that he'll die before that happens, so Dengar pulls his rifle out on the hunter, knowing his obsession with Solo makes him reckless, and why is the scoundrel so important to him? Valance has his reasons, as years before in the Abogado Ray spaceport, the hitman Cavernous tells his men not to kill Valance since they need one more gun for the hit on the smuggler in the spaceport. Valance says that Sifik can vouch for him and that he could use the credits. Cavernous wants to see how desperate Valance is, telling him of the cyborg who works for the Hutts spotted in the cantina, and being this is a port under the Pike control, that's a bad thing for the cyborg. He tells Valance to meet him at the port if he survives, as his men are set upon Valance. The thugs attack him with their electro batons, calling him a cyborg, but Valance knows that just makes him more angry as he cracks one of the men in the face, throwing another one away before taking down the final thug, seeing himself out of the cantina. In the present, Valance's ship is still being assaulted by the Mist Hunter, which takes out their cannons. Valance takes the ship into a nearby asteroid field, angering Dengar even more as the ship crashes into asteroids. Valance says he's got a plan as they fly through a field of space worms, which snap hungrily at the ship. Valance knows that they lost the Mist Hunter, but the hunters soon return, firing on them as Zuckuss says over the comms that there is no place that they can't hide from him, and he is to surrender the girl's location to them. Valance says if they try and board, he'll blow the fuel core of the ship, taking them all out. He's suddenly smashed on the back of the head and knocked out by Dengar, who tells him to shut up since for a guy who brews and doesn't talk much, he sure makes a lot of trouble when he does talk. Dengar wants to do the talking from now on, as in the past, Valance meets up with Cavernous at the port, finding that he killed a fellow Pike, which will put some serious heat on him, but the hitman says that they aren't searching for him, they're searching for Valance since he just went on a rampage at a cantina. Valance realizes that he was set up, but Cavernous thinks that he should help him kill their target, get paid, and then get off world while he still can. Valance is given a sniper rifle, told the target will need to pay the dockmaster before leaving so he'll be out in the open, and luckily there are shooters flanking the dockmaster. Cavernous says that the target is coming and it's the guy next to the Wookiee. Valance is shocked to find that their target is Han Solo, who is bargaining with the dockmaster over his ship fees. In the present, Zuckuss says this is Valance's final warning as Dengar searches for the comm switch, telling the hunters to wait since they don't have the girl on board. Zuckuss now knows that there is zero profit for them now, so they can just kill Valance and Dengar. Dengar, however, says that he has a piece of information worth more than what the Unbroken clan is paying for the girl. In the past, Cavernous readies to fire, but Valance fires early, alerting Han and Chewie by killing one of the other hitmen. Han knows that someone is trying to kill them, but Chewie thinks that someone is only just trying to kill Han, not him. The hitmen attack, wounding Chewie as Valance attacks Cavernous, apologizing since he can't let them kill Han. Han knows you jettison cargo one time and the Hutts never forget it as he fires up at Valance and the other hitmen. Valance hopes that they can go their separate ways and chalk this up to a misunderstanding, but Cavernous refuses, wanting to turn his corpse over to the Pikes and salvage the mission. He attacks Valance with his spear, but the cyborg snaps the weapon, but is kicked out of the way as Cavernous goes for his rifle, wanting to kill Han and keep the bounty for himself. Valance tackles them off the railing, but Cavernous manages to hang on while Valance plummets into the spaceport. Han spots Valance, who tries to explain how he didn't know this was happening, but Chewie grabs Han, pulling him aboard the Falcon, as Han shouts that he thought that they were friends and he saved Valance's life. Valance tries to explain, but it's too late as the Millennium Falcon blasts off from the planet. In the present, Valance awakens to find Dengar dealing with Zuckuss 4 LOM, saying that he's keeping them alive. He tells the other hunters that Jabba the Hutt has put a large bounty on Fett, but 4 LOM knows that it's not worth the fuel and time that it would take to go after Solo, especially thanks to all of the rivals also gunning for Fett. Dengar says that not many have the intel on where Fett is right now, but he does. Dengar transmits the coordinates, angering Valance, but Dengar didn't do this out of the kindness of his heart, and it takes a big bounty to have to put up with Valance like he is now. He knows now every other hunter in the sector will have heard about the price on Fett's head, and they all have their own reasons for doing it and going after him, so Valance better have his hydro spanner handy and get working to fix the engines, otherwise they will lose both Boba Fett and Han Solo.